And he's like, well, what do you want me to do? Put the cookie down. Do it now. Put the cookie down. I just love that. Again, instant fucking line, chat. And improvised by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Improvised. And I was like, there you go. He's great at the one-liner chat. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content on my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
Jingle all the way. You picked the wrong day.
We must go ahead and get to this review, this scene by scene by scene breakdown, chat, of Jingle All the Way. Now, chat, I have a very important question for you. Obviously, you know me, my how I start these things out. I like to ask you one important question, and this question being, how many of you have seen the original 90s holiday classic featuring Austrian's favorite son, the Austrian oak himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, in Jingle All the Way? Very curious. I owed a lot of tune polls, no doubt. T-Mac, yes, it's in. Good to see T-Mac, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Chris, I have. Darkslayer, seen it several times, as have I. Casper, yes, many times as a kid. Upbeat Graphics, I have it. Had it on VHS. I liked it. A lot of people do. I'm going to go over the history of this movie, chat. It's interesting. Decalogs, seen it multiple times. Night Day Nick is one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's in my rotation every year. Thank you. Super Tupac with a $5 donation. Thank you so much. Go ahead and read your little message. I was beyond excited to see you review Attack on Titan. The review was surprisingly funny. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the review. Well, thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a fun time to review that series. Maybe I might add that to some future cartoon polls. It was a good time. And welcome. Hope you're doing very well today. Thank you for your very generous donation. The PS5 is 2020's Turbo Man. Yeah, it is. It is. It looks like it is. And then every year there's something that is the Turbo Man of that year. There's no doubt about it. This whole film is an allegory, Chad. It's the corporatization, the capitalization of Christmas, of the holiday season, where people should be enjoying, their families and friends and spending time with each other and all that. Nah, it's about things and objects and trying to fulfill the emptiness in our souls of material objects, chat. We don't need that. No, it's just that's what Arnold Schwarzenegger learns at the end of the movie. It's an important moral lesson, chat. And he was tested and realized, chat, after committing crime after crime after crime and getting away with all of it, chat, that he was wrong and that he should just embrace his family and love his family and be there for him. That's what it's all about. That's what the holidays are about, chat. It teaches a very important lesson. Deadpool, I love this movie. I watch it every Christmas as a tradition. Chris Harris is the Director's 9 Christmas movie. So much metaphor, allegories. Man, when our PS5 is gonna be back in stock, I'm gonna play Miles or on next gen. I don't know, man. Looks like they're gonna be sold out for quite a while. Sinbad is indeed in this yet. Yeah, he's in it. He makes his presence known, chat, by fucking screeching. And I'm not saying screaming, screeching all of his lines. Screeching the kind of dialogue, chat. That's the screeching dialogue that would make Chris Tucker go, "Hey, man, take it easy. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, notch, okay?" Jesus Christ. Strangers you've never seen. Interesting. Okay, we got some people who have not seen this film. Devin, good to see you. Love this movie. R.I.P. Yeah, Phil Hartman. Yeah, one of the last films that he worked on, chat. Well, chat, I, too, have seen this film, grew up with it, saw it in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was one of those films I watched yearly as well. And, you go through phases, chat. You go through phases where you're like, oh, that movie is trash. And you'd be right, chat. Like, listen, anyone who hates this movie and calls it trash, it is. Like, I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but I will say this. Arnold Schwarzenegger is so dedicated to this film because this thing is, he wanted this role. He was actually excited about it because for so long, Chad, he was the action guy. He had done several comedies, obviously, Chad. Anything from Twins to Kindergarten Cop, Junior, which is probably the weakest of all of his comedies that he's done. I mean, he may have done something after Jingle All the Way. Nothing's coming to mind at the moment. I'm sure he has. This is better than Junior, chat. But he's just so dedicated to the role of just this exasperated, befuddled dad. And I'm like, you know what? I really dig this. And he uses his Arnold Schwarzenegger-nisms throughout this entire movie, chat. You're thinking, like, how everyone, like, when people, like, mock him and, like, oh, you can't get a turbo mantle, boo, like, all exaggerating shit, like, that would only happen in movie world. And he'll, like, now listen, yeah, and he just fucking grabs them and shakes them and they go, oh, and they just start screaming, chat. So, like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator, from Terminator comes out, chat, when he grabs people and throws them around. That's brilliant. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's pretty goddamn funny. Or him just, and the unintentionally funny humor, chat, of him chasing after small children is like, no, open your mouth for me. It's just like, that's not appropriate, but it's so fucking dark and weird that I just can't help but laugh. And then the classic lines, chat, in this film. One of his, I mean, he's known for so many great catchphrases, chat. You know what I mean? Everything from stick around or let off some steam, Bennett, or I'll be back. But put the cookie down. Do it now. It's up there too, chat. It's up there along with, it's not a tumor. Like, even the comedy, chat, there's always something that sticks out about these Arnold Schwarzenegger films. And, like, I'll say it, it's not a good movie, but there's something about it. There's just something about it that just appeals to you. But I think the main appeal is Arnold himself. Like, because the movie's just generic trash, in all honesty, chat. Like, the supporting cast, you know, I'm sorry, but Sinbad, he's probably the weakest element in this film. And especially, let me tell you this, chat. When you're doing improv, when you have two actors, chat, and I read the Wikipedia page, I'm like, okay, Sinbad clearly did not read any of his lines, and he was doing a lot of improv. When Arnold Schwarzenegger is better than you at improv, that's an issue. That's a big problem. It was like, okay, you gotta take a step back, and you gotta be like, all right, this is just not working. Let's sit down and figure this out. And that's the thing that shocked me about this film. It's like, wow, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a better actor. Which, you know, most of the time, chat, if there's a collection of people in a room and Arnold is among them, chances are he's probably not the best actor among them. There's a good goddamn chance he's not. But he has his charms, chat. He definitely has his charms. He has that charisma, which propels him forward and makes him noticeable nonetheless, chat. That's why he's had such an impactful career in cinema, chat, for nearly 40 goddamn years, if not longer at this point. And that's what works about this movie, Chad. It's not a good film, but Arnold somehow makes it work. You know, lo and behold, it's crazy. So, I guess I'm kind of a fan of this movie, chat. I acknowledge all of its flaws. It's fun in some regard, but most of that is because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, the movie came out, as I said, chat, in I think late 90s, 1996. That's it. That was the year I was thinking of. Had a budget of $75 million, $20 million of which went to Arnold Schwarzenegger's, chat. He was paid for $20 million for this. And he was given, by the way, there's like a lot of interesting history to this film that it references certain things. Like the director, he wanted to like reference, like do very super subtle references to not Schwarzenegger's filmography, but like to films that he was almost cast in. It's weird. And there's like one big one. I was like, wait a minute, what? Where apparently, remember that 1990 Captain America movie that everyone forgot about with J.D. Salinger's son? Like the writer, chat. You know who the first choice was to play Captain America? Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was the original choice. But because he's not American, it doesn't sound American, and the fact that you would have an Austrian, which, you know, they all sound fucking German, chat, because they're basically German, you know, as Captain America fighting the Nazis, like, yeah, this isn't working. This is not working. T-Mac, thank you for the 6 biddies. There's like 110 million today in today's money. Yeah, man, it was a huge fucking thing. Yeah, it was when it's, nearly, a third of the budget? Pretty goddamn good. But yeah, he was the original choice for Captain America, Chad, the 1990 film. But he passed on it. And like there's Captain America iconography all in Jake Lloyd's room. It's like, why that? Like I get he's into Turbo Man and all these superheroes, but Captain America is displayed prominently, Chad, and that's because the director wanted to honor certain films that Schwarzenegger almost was in, but passed on. It's weird. It's weird. I was very surprised by that. You know, was a decent commercial success. She had a moderate success. You know, it had a budget of $75 million. Box office 129.8, but it made a lot, chat, on VOD, and it's constantly seen on television. Like Schwarzenegger and a lot of the cast members are still getting residuals from this film because even though it was reviled by critics, chat, audiences really dug it. And this was still Arnold Schwarzenegger's living high off of, you know, stuff like Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He was the highest paid, I think, action star of the time. For 2 decades straight. And so we were like, well, this fucking stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course I'm going to go see it. Even though we started to see his popularity waning in the late 90s and into the 2000s, chat, when he then became governor of California. This was still like, this was one of the last big films of his, I would say. Dark Side of the Five Buddies, that's like casting Dana Carvey as a Cuban. Yeah, exactly. I know. It's fucking bizarre. It's so weird to me, but it's like, there you go. That was Hollywood's mindset back in the day. Like, hey, you're a big action star. You could be Captain America, but Captain America is American. He's not German or Austrian. He's like, it doesn't matter. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what it was. And they do they do several lines of coke. That's what we're doing. That's how all these films got made, or almost got made, a lot of them. Producers, they didn't give a shit. It's like, you're a big actor star. You draw this audience. It was a different time, It was a different time where people weren't really... it wasn't about the properties themselves selling the movie. Like now, chat, like Marvel or DC or Star Wars or what have you, or pick one, chat, pick one. It was about certain stars selling a movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, like all these guys, or certain actresses, chat. That's just the way it was back. Julia Roberts at the time, Meryl Streep. It's changed dramatically in the last, I'd say, probably 20 years, a little over 20 years now. We've seen a seismic shift in what sells a movie and what doesn't sell a movie anymore. But anyway, Chip. But, so a little history of the film, very, very odd. Also, sad bit of history, chat. This, I think, was the second to last film to feature Phil Hartman. His last movie, I believe, was Small Soldiers in, 1999, I want to say. It was around that time, Maybe it was it was 98. I think it was it was 97. I don't know when Small Soldiers came out, but it was, around the late 90s, chat. And that's, Phil Hartman, who was, famous chef for SNL, writer on The Simpsons, play McClure on the Simpsons series, chat, to great effect. And, this is before his wife murdered him, which was very dark period. Obviously, everyone's incredibly mournful over his passing. Chad, just the talent he brought to all the shows and films and series that he worked on. Chat, news radio as well. It was. It sucked. This is one of the last roles, and he plays just a scuzzy, really, really slime ball of a character. Chat, just lusting after Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife. Which, by the way, Phil Hartman, listen, you don't have a chance. Yeah, I love it. How it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm more of a catch than Arnold is. It's like, no, that was hilarious. News radio, that was a good show. I used to watch it back in the day as well. A fun time. Yeah, you guys bring them all up. Thank you, sir. I thought the English duo dub of Kiki's Delivery Service came after. That's right, he did do Kiki's Delivery Service. But I forget which one was last. But his last live action role, I guess I should say. One of his last ones. But yeah, chat. So a lot of interesting history involved this film. But now, my friends, let's go ahead and get into the film itself. And boom! Open up with explosions, chat. Everything's exploding everywhere. There's people dying and shit. And chat, we see this engorged brain man, chat. It's like he looks like a supervillain of some kind, like a Power Rangers-esque villain, chat. It's like if you took Lord Zed, chat, and you put his skin back. Remember Lord Zed from Power Rangers? Remember how he was horrifying, chat, when he was initially introduced, and parents groups are like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, no, make him goofy, because before he's just he has his entire skin has just been removed from his body, his brain is exposed, and he came in all right, fucking Rita, you're not doing the shit you need to do. I will destroy the Rangers. They will be feasted upon by my demons. And they're like, whoa, take it easy now, take it easy, okay? Let's make him goofy and have him marry Rita Repulsa. And they promptly did that after 5 episodes, Chad. He had a dramatic character shift. But we're not talking about Predator, chat, but we're talking about a Lord Zed-esque character where it's like if we grafted his skin back on, chat, and gave him a even more engorged brain. And you have this guy, chat, apparently from what I understand, he's stealing the children of the world, chat. He's stealing the children of the world away. I don't know why, probably for power, chat. I don't know, again, this is more the pedophilia coming here, I'm not sure, but he's stealing the kids away, chat, and he's holding the one kid in particular hostage, chat, the son, maybe the love child of the President of the United States. It's not a good time, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking conquer the world. But thank God, Chad, thank God, because we have the arrival of Turbo Man, Chad, who says, stop stealing kids. Stop stealing and diddling them. And he's like, I'm not gonna stop diddling kids. And then Turbo Man, he has his best friend. I don't know what the thing's name is, Chad. It's like a Pink Panther-esque derpy thing. It's the Pink Derp. And the Pink Derp is like, Turbo Man, we have to help them. And it's like, all right, you fight the putties, you fight the Power Ranger-esque putties, while I fight the diddler who is basically Lord Zed. And he gets into a big old brawl of him, Chad, but he fucking teleports. He's teleporting. It's terrible. Thank you, Doctor, for the 5 minutes. He's the mega diddler. It's turbo time, indeed. Not yet, not yet. And so the diddler, he's like, I have obtained this one child, and I shall conquer the world. And he teleports, chat, to like a mountaintop. And the president's like asking Turbo Man, like, please, can you just make sure my son isn't diddled? And he's like, I got you. And he goes, it's turbo time. And he activates his jetpack, chat, and he flies up to the mountaintop, and he just rails on the diddler, chat. Just rails on the mega diddler until he's defeated, and he gets the kid, chat, brings him back to the president of the United States and the president's wife. And they go, oh, thank God for you, Turbo Man. He's like, no problem, and be sure to brush your teeth and eat your vegetables, kids. And we cut, chat. It's like, oh my God, this isn't actually the movie. This isn't like it's not like a superhero film. No, it's a Power Rangers-esque show, chat. We're introduced to an even younger looking Jake Lloyd, chat. 3 years later, he would be cast as Anakin Skywalker in the Phantom Menace, chat, and his life would be destroyed promptly. He would be destroyed promptly, chat. It's actually kind of sad what happened with him. But this is before that time, chat. And he's just fucking loving watching Turbo Man, chat. And you got good old mom. She's making food. She's always cooking. That's what the mom does in this movie, chat. She's just always baking cookies. She's always making dinner. That's pretty much it, chat. The thing is, though, she's getting ready, because she's got to take Jake Lloyd to his karate class today, chat. Jake Lloyd's getting his, blue belt. He got his yellow. Now he's getting the blue belt. Or the green belt. No, purple belt. I remember distinctly in karate, chat, when I took it, because everyone took karate as a kid. You go white, yellow, then green, and then blue, and then purple, and then I think black. I think that's how it goes. But they messed it up here. So he has the yellow, but he said he already had blue, which I think is bullshit, and now he's getting purple. I'm like, you mixed up the fucking colors here, man. You gotta do your proper research, all right? Gotta do your proper goddamn research. So, Terror Creature is named Booster. I'm gonna call him the Derpy Pink Panther. That's what his name is now. But fair enough, Booster. So, they're getting prepared for the karate match. And the thing is, though, Jake Lloyd, he asks his mom, which, by the way, chat, I don't want to hate on Jake Lloyd, but there's some obvious things I got to point out. Every time he talks to someone, he's looking off to the side. And the reason why he's looking off to the side, chat, you notice something with him. His eyes are darting back and forth because he's reading cue cards. And I'm like, listen, he's a little kid. That's fine. That's just the way it is. But it's just like, he was never a great actor. I know he's a little kid, but he's like literally, he looks at them and he goes, and he reads off to the side. And I'm just like, he's like, Mom, when is Dad going to get home? He said he would be at my karate graduation. And Mom would go, okay, this is my career now. Well, you know what? I'll just call your dad and see how he's doing. And then shall we cut? It goes white, yellow, green, blue. That's what I thought. White, yellow, brown. I forgot about brown. White, yellow, green. I was kind of close. White, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black. Fair enough, chat. Fair enough. But then, nobody likes Booster. Chat. Booster sucks. He's a derpy-looking mongoloid Pink Panther. And you know what people don't like, chat? Derpy-looking mongoloid Pink Panthers. They're stupid. And so we cut, chat. Apparently we learn the film takes place in Minneapolis, chat, because Arnold Schwarzenegger, he is the Austrian king of king-size mattresses in the Minneapolis area, chat. Everyone goes for fine mattresses to his store, chat. And he's amassed a significant amount of wealth, chat, selling bedding and mattresses to all the people of Minneapolis. They love him. And he's taking big fucking orders, chat, because we see people just tearing each other apart, chat, already. Not over Turbo Man figures, chat, but over mattresses. They might have all these big orders before Christmas Day. And we see him, chat. He's taking call after call after call. And it's you need 200 matches. I will give you 200 matches. You're my favorite customer. He fucking hangs up. He goes, oh, I will bet you don't like the color. That's fine. It's fine. We'll totally reupholster it. All the colors will be great. You're my favorite customer. And he does it over and over again. And the secretary comes over, and she knows not to interrupt him when he's on the phone, chat, talking about his favorite customers, which apparently is everybody, chat. That's the slogan. You're my favorite customer. And then she's like, she has these little cue cards for him to read. And it's like, oh, so he doesn't feel bad like Jake Lloyd. And she's basically telling him, your son's karate graduation is in 20 minutes. And he goes, I know it's in 20 minutes. And you said that a half an hour ago. He's like, he's getting mad. He's getting mad. And she flips another card, basically giving him his direction and his motivation. Honestly, chat, I think Arnold realized what movie he was in when the title cards are presenting to him. So this is the first act. You got to get to your son's karate graduation. All right, your wife is calling. Your son's very upset with you. This is the second time she's called. You got to get there, and it establishes everything you need to know about him at this point, chat. That's all you need to know about Arnold. Juice again, juice again, juice again. Welcome, Carmi Hazel. Hope you're doing very well today. He's like, I know, and so. His wife he picks up the phone with his wife and he's like, hello, honey, how you doing? And he's like, listen, you said that you're going to be at this graduation today. He goes, I know, I'm going to be there, I promise. And he's like, okay, it's going to start like in 20 minutes. I know that you're a little farther away. Your office is a little farther than we are. He's like, I got it. I'm about to leave right now. He's like, you're my favorite customer. And he's like, ooh. He's like, wait a minute, you're not my customer, you're my wife. And she's like, you're a fucking idiot. And she hangs up the phone. He's like, oh, no, I messed up. And the secretary is like, dude, just fucking go. I'll handle it. He's like, fine. And so he gets on the road, chat. But then what is he hitting? Fucking traffic immediately. Terrible Minneapolis traffic, chat. And he got the icy roads and everything. It's just, it's awful. We then cut to the karate tournament graduation championships or whatever, and we see all the kids walking out, chat, and we see Mrs. Schwarzenegger, chat, and she's right next to Phil Hartman, chat, the late great Phil Hartman, who plays a very scummy character in this movie, chat. Don't let his sunny, warm disposition fool you, chat. He's in it for the hot and sweaty sex. That's all he desires in this movie, chat. Everything else about him, the fucking sweater vest. He's like a Flanders from The Simpsons if he just had like he was like a sexual fiend. That's what he is. This is a children's movie, chat. That's what it is. He hides it all, chat. He hides it all. Just recently got divorced because he was fucking every broad he can get his hands on, chat, in the neighborhood. And the wife is like, you're tearing her family apart. He's like, all right, get going. And she didn't get anything in divorce. She doesn't pay any alimony because he manipulated the system. He's a terrible human being, chat. But he's filming his son's, karate graduation, too. He's there. And he's always trying to hit on Mrs. Schwarzenegger, chat, constantly. And she's like, kind of like, oh, that's nice. Rebuffing him, but not like saying, you need to stop this. And then you have all the wives, chat, all the wives just offering him baked goods and everything and saying, like, Mr. Hartman, can you come over to my house because, my screen door, it just got all messed up again. And, I just don't know how to fix anything now that I don't have a man in the house anymore. It's just like, my God, everyone in this neighborhood is so fucking horny. It's amazing. Thank you. Dark Side of the 5 Days trying to cuck Arnold. Pretty much. I'm like, first of all, you ain't going to be doing that to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry. I'm sure Mrs. Schwarzenegger is quite happy, Jack, quite happy with what she has. She has the Austrian oak. And he's called the Austrian oak for a very good reason, Chad. The steroid abuse is no longer affecting his body. And everything is just swinging freely now. But they're having the graduation ceremony, Chad, and they're presenting little Jake Lloyd with his belt. I guess he's getting the purple belt now, Chad. It's the last one. I don't fucking know. Doesn't make any sense to me. And he's sad because he looks to the area where Arnold would typically be, Chad, and he's not there, and he's sad. He's sad, Chad, because the cue card said sad. He went, But then we cut back to Arnold, and he's very upset because he's in traffic. He's like, I still have time. But he sees shit. He sees that the not the side road, basically, chat, but when you're on the highway, you see that one area where it's kind of like off to the left, the right-hand shoulder or the left-hand shoulder, typically where you are. And typically, you're not supposed to be there. That's where you park your vehicle. You're not supposed to just drive down that way, Chad. That's illegal unless in emergency situations. And he says, fuck it. And he just goes on there, Chad, and he says, get out of my way, just fuck it. All these people are like, oh! So already establishes that Arnold does not care about other human beings, Chad. As the mattress king of Minneapolis, he thinks that he has absolute power, chap, but only over mattress, not over people. And so people are just jumping out of the fucking way to get away from his fucking vehicle. And of course, chap, the police be like, "Hey, Arnold, you can't do that." And so they pull him over to the side of the road, and he fucking wheels because it's the '90s, chat, and didn't have like the auto things for the windows. And he does, but he does a fast check because he's got these big Austrian muscles. And he says, "Is that a problem, officer?" And he goes, "Yes, you're fucking driving illegally on the right-hand side. You know you can't do that." And he says, "I'm sorry, my child has a karate champion graduation, and I must get there." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm inconveniencing you when you perform an illegal action." He's like, "Officers, I'm not telling you how to do your job. You tell me how to do my job?" He's like, "No, he says, "Please get out of your car." So he's like, "Fuck," and he gets out of the car. And the guy's just fucking with him at this point. He just says, "Okay, I'm going to need you," because at this point he's like, "Okay, I got to just Again, chat, the fucking fuzz, the popo, trying to force upon their laws on Arnold Schwarzenegger. As we all know, chat, you can't force laws on Arnold, chat. He's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. But at this point, that's what he's doing. And so he's like, please recite the ABCs to me. And Arnold's like, A, B, E. He doesn't know his ABC, chat. It's not going well. He's like, backwards. He goes, I can't do even the right way. And so he has to do that backwards, chat. And it takes him like 2 hours to figure it out. And he eventually gets to the school, chat, gets right in there. He's running down the goddamn hallway. He's like, I'm coming, little Jake Lloyd, Anakin. And he gets in there, chat, but it's all done. The karate tournament, graduation's over. He's like, fuck! And so it's not great, chat. He broke his promise to Jake Lloyd. And so then he goes home, and the wife's there, and she's like, why'd you miss his graduation? He's like, I'm sorry, his traffic was terrible, and the police officer was accosting me, trying to force laws on me. Arnold Schwarzenegger has diplomatic immunity, chat, as we all know. As an Austrian citizen of America, chat, he has diplomatic immunity, okay? Lethal Weapon 2 established those rules, okay, for the Austrians. But apparently not for this film, chat. They made an exception. And, Arnold's like, I'm going to make it up to him. So he goes to Jake Lloyd, chat, who's just watching Turbo Man, chat. Typical child of the 90s, chat. Just like any kid was watching Power Rangers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what you were watching back in the day. And he's like, I'm going to call him Anakin, chat, for the sake of convenience. Anakin. That would have been fucking awesome, chat, if goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger was the father of Anakin Skywalker. Could you believe that? If the big casting reveal, chat, in The Phantom Menace, we find out that Arnold is the father of Darth Vader. That would have blew everyone's goddamn mind back in the day, chat. Would have been absolutely fucking cool. That's what we needed. They wouldn't explain why Darth Vader's so goddamn big. It's like, of course, his father was the Austrian oak. Star Wars Austrians, chat. Space Nazis, all connected. The space Nazis and it's all there, chat. It's all there. But he goes there. He's like, you're watching Turbo Man. It's a great show, isn't it? But Jake Lloyd, little Anakin, he wants nothing to do with him, chat. So he goes up to his room. And Arnold, he's not going to take no for an answer. Thank you, Dark Side 5 minis. This is the true origin of Anakin. Exactly. So, listen, all those decades of genocide, all those murdered younglings, all those Alderanians, chat, they would have been spared Vader's wrath if he got that Turbo Man action figure in the 1996 family comedy Jingle All the Way, chat. All that could have been prevented, but Arnold fucked it up. He fucked it up. He doomed the galaxy, chat. He created a mechanical monstrosity. More machine than man, some might say, chat. Oh, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you again, Darkslayer, for the 5 biddies. But little Anakin, he goes upstairs. She just wants, no one just want to talk to Arnold. Arnold's like, don't slam the door. He goes up there, he slams the door in Arnold's face. He's like, don't slam doors in my face. And he gets very mad at him. He's like, I must be calm. He's small child. And he goes inside, chat, and we see Jake Lloyd sit on his bed. He's got a lot of shit. By the way, I love how Jake Lloyd's like a little pissy shit. But the thing is, he has like all these fucking toys. He's got an amazing room, chat. Got these fucking murals of superheroes and shit. I'd be like, this kid is spoiled rotten. I'm like, fuck karate. I mean, the least you got there and you're participating, man. The award is learning how to snap someone's neck in the karate class or punch through someone's face. That's what you should be happy about. Who gives a shit if Arnold's there or not? Thank you, Purple Canary. For resubscribing 7 months, 2 months away from front pooping on Twitch, baby. Excellent. Thank you, Broken Canary, and welcome to the stream. Arnold, he goes in there, chat, and that's when we see the Captain America, like this giant mural of Captain America. And that's where there's a little thing on Amazon's like that popped up because I was watching on Amazon Prime, and it said Arnold Schwarzenegger was originally considered, or actually was the first person they went to play the role of Captain America, but he passed on it because of his Austrian accent. It's just crazy, Jeff. The original 1990 film, and he's like trying to appeal to me. He's like, Jake Lloyd, look at me, because he takes, this is your belt, the purple belt. Is this how you wear it? He's like fooling around. It can't even fit around his waist, chat, because Arnold's just too goddamn thick. He's too goddamn thick. So he puts this on his head, and he's like, look, I'm Jackie Chan. And then we get like a really racist. We get like two. Like, that's a little racist. Actually, there's like 3 racist parts of the movie. There's 3 racist parts of the movie, chat. And apparently it's all towards Asians, by the way. All towards Asians, chat. All the racism. So, you guys, all the minorities, you lucked out. And all for the Asians, chat. Because I'm like, look, I'm Jackie Chan. Hoo-ah! Hoo-yow! And that might be because he was mocking Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan at the time, chat, was a rising star in Western cinema. Chat already established himself in China and things throughout, the 80s, obviously. And then he had him appearing in so many American action films. I was like, yeah, fuck that guy. And so he's just mocking Jackie Chan, just like, that's a little offensive, Arnold. I wouldn't do that. But And Jake Lloyd's like, that's a little racist, Dad. And he goes over, chat, and he starts drawing. Which, by the way, Jake Lloyd drawings, very articulate. He does a fucking fantastic job, chat. Very symmetrical. Very symmetrical. Everything looks great. It's like, okay, this kid's a fucking savant, chat. And I'm like, that's impressed. Does a really good take on Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mom. He gets just fucking thick shit. These aren't stick figures. No, these are these are drawn very well for a child who looks to be maybe 8 at the most. But he's fucking doing all that shit. And, you know, Arnold is like, I'm sorry, I messed up today. You know, I don't mean to break my promises. And he's like, well, I just wish you would keep your promises. And Arnold's like, I will keep my promise. My next promise to you, I will keep. And he's like, really? And he goes, yes. And he goes, well, can you promise me something right now? And he goes, of course, Anakin. And he's like, can you promise to get me a Turbo Man doll for Christmas? He's like, yes, the doll, Turbo Man, yes. And he goes, and he's like, what kind of doll is it? He's like, I want Turbo Man doll. He has the jetpack, and he has the 5 recorder voice sayings when you press his belt, and he has the extra features, and he like all these fucking things. And Arnold's just like, I don't understand any of this, but I promise I'll get this for you. And Jake Lloyd's like, yay! And he fucking hugs Arnold, and they're like, they're all spinning around the room. Like, Arnold's literally spinning Jake Lloyd around the room, Chad, just like fling him around. I mean, honestly, I'm like, if he fucking let go, Chad, the kid would go out the fucking window, go boom, right out of there. But Arnold, he's like, yeah, this is how we establish trust with our children, by just telling them that I'm going to buy you stuff and it'll make everything better. It'll make everything better. I just promise I'm going to buy things for you and the relationship will be strong forever, Chet. Not great, not great. Dogs into the Bibles. Anakin shouldn't have been a Jedi. Should have been an artist and opened up his own gallery, of course. Yeah. Hitler. I'm telling you, Chet, allegories, metaphors throughout this entire film. That's another one, Darkslayer. Thank you for bringing that up. But he's talking to Mrs. Schwarzenegger, and he's like, we had such a great time spinning in the room. It was great. We were drawing. It was wonderful. He's very articulate, actually. Probably should send him to art school or something. And, Mrs. Schwarzenegger's like, I'm so happy about that. So you got the doll? And he goes, what? And he's like, the doll, I told you to buy it 2 weeks ago. And we get like, oh, the camera goes in real close to Arlen. He realizes, oh my God, I didn't buy the doll, even though his wife told him to buy it 2 weeks ago. And he goes, you didn't forget to buy the doll, did you? He goes, no, I bought the doll. I'm keeping it at my office right now, obviously. She goes, oh, thank God. This girl's wondering where it was. He's like, yeah, no, I just kept it there. I'm busy at work, you know me. And she goes, yeah, no, good point. And she goes, well, great. I'm glad that we had the doll. This will be the best Christmas ever. And I was like, yes, it will be. And they get all cozy in their bed, chat. They all snuggle and shit. And the camera cuts on and he goes, oh, shit, because he didn't buy the doll, shit. He did not buy the doll, and he's fucked. He's fucked. And so anyway, oh, by the way, Phil Hartman, he's just doing weird shit around the house. He's always there, just scaring the shit out. I was like, ah! Like, every time he appears. Like, when Arnold gets home after the karate match, after the karate graduation, and we see Phil Hartman on the goddamn roof just putting up Christmas lights. And I mean, like, he even says, why, what the fuck are you doing on my roof? It's like, get off my fucking roof, dude. Don't be on here. Who said this? Apparently, maybe Mrs. Schwarzenegger gave him permission, but maybe not. We don't know. I'd be very pissed about that. And so, just doing weird shit. T-Mac, thank you for the 5 biddies. Does the wife work? She should have got... I know, exactly. She does not work, by the way. That's the thing. That's kind of the thing I want to bring up, chat, is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has amassed so much wealth in this movie, provides for his family, and still not good enough for his wife or for his son. I'd be like, all right, you fucks. Listen, I work so goddamn hard. I am the mattress king of Minneapolis, all right? I can have any woman or child I want. And things are going to change around here. You guys are going to be goddamn grateful for what I do. What the food and the fucking things that you all fucking love that I put on the table each and every single day. So shut up about Turbo Man. Shut up about saying I'm not here enough. I'm trying to make sure this family stays together about the money that I earn. So shut the fuck up. I absolutely agree. Instant divorce. Darkslayer. Question. Why didn't she buy it? She knows she has a work call. Could have just asked for the money. I agreed. You're absolutely right. No, Chad, it's a big fucking plot hole. It's obvious. Because you know why? Because she's all busy baking cookies and fucking Phil Hartman in the other house. That's why it is. Yeah, he should have divorced her. Should have divorced her, Chad. Running him ragged. Just nag all the time, Chad. But he comes out, it's morning and everything, and he's going back to the office, Shaq, or he says he's going to the office because he's going to find a Turbo Man doll. And the wife is like, oh, where are you going? He's like, I have to go to the office. She's like, why today? It's Christmas Eve. He's like, oh, he's like, I have to go get the Turbo Man doll. I left it at the office like I told you last night. And she goes, oh, that's right, no problem. You go ahead and go. But then little Anakin, he pipes up and he says, Dad, the card. But the parade in downtown Minneapolis is today. Will you be here so we can go together? And Arnold's like, I will be here. It'll be wonderful. He goes, great. And it's like, oh, wonderful. So he leaves the house, Chet. But then who's there, Chet? Phil Hartman with a very angry reindeer, Chet. For some reason, Phil Hartman has this disgusting looking reindeer, Chet, that constantly burps and farts in all the scenes. And it's like, why is this here? And apparently it just doesn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chad. Like, I don't know, maybe in a previous life Arnold killed him or something, and then resurrected itself, Chad. Reincarnated into a fucking deer. I don't know. And it just has a hate on it. It's a hating hard on, Chad, for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Phil Hartman's just like, I don't know why the reindeer is like this, man. He was just so kind with me. He goes, well, that's very good for you, Phil Hartman. And he's like, I have to go now. And he's like, oh, you know what, Arnold? Listen, just want to give you some advice, dad to dad kind of thing, husband to husband. He's like, yeah. He's like, just want to let you know there's going to be some bad snow later on. You might want to put some chains on your tires. And Arnold's like, I want to put you in chains. Which is a good goddamn quote, chat. Thank you, Chris, for the 5 minutes. Maybe it's the sin of that camel. We can't punch the cone. It might have been that camel. It might have come back, chat. It might reincarnate in that deer. Very true. But I just love that quote. It's like, I'm going to put you in chains. He's like, what? He's like, I have to go. Bye-bye. And he drives, shit. He drives. Because he's got to get this fucking Turbo Man doll. He's got to obtain it somehow, chat. But then he gets to a toy store, and there's just a shit ton of people there. He's like, oh, no. It's like typical Black Friday type of thing, shit. Typical Black Friday. And he's like just in this mass of people, and the shop is like, we got 5 minutes before we're open. He's like, it's cold out here. It's Minneapolis. Everything's like 30 below. Please let us inside. He's like, 5 minutes. He's like, fuck you, Bennett. And so he waits to these people. And then, chat, we're introduced to the most annoying character in the movie, fucking Sinbad. Every line of dialogue Sinbad has is improvised. They talk about that on the Wikipedia page. I just read it a couple minutes ago before I started the stream. It's kind of like, okay, what is the deal with him? And he improvised the majority of his dialogue, chat. Interestingly, Arnold Schwarzenegger also wanted to match Sinbad and improvise his dialogue with the scenes he had with Sinbad. And shockingly, chat, I couldn't believe it, but Arnold Schwarzenegger is better at improvisation than Sinbad is, which I'm like, that's an issue. Okay, like, Sinbad is a comedian, he's a stand-up comedian, chap. He was doing fucking tours of the goddamn Clintons throughout the 90s, performing shows for the troops. And if Arnold Schwarzenegger is better than improv, which is remarkable, than you, that's a big goddamn issue, chap, because I'm sorry, I just don't like him in this movie. I remember not liking Sinbad, but after watching it, I was like, yeah, he's really bad in this shit. Everything he does, it's the kind of acting where if I just scream all my dialogue, I'll be like, oh, it's hilarious. Look at him screaming. It's like, no, it's not. You could scream your dialogue, you can have those moments, certainly, that are very, very funny, but when you're constantly doing that over and over and over again, you just become annoying. You just become white noise in the background throughout the entire film. You're like, oh yeah, he's in that too, and that's what he is. Shit, I just do not like him. Arnold's used to the one-liners, and that's what exactly. Purple Canary, because that's what Arnold Schwarzenegger does. He does a lot of great improv when it comes to one-liners, and he does that throughout the film with Sinbad, where after Sinbad is done screeching and hollering, Arnold Schwarzenegger will come in there with a zinger, and he'll steal the scene from him every single time. It's very impressive. I was like, oh, good for you. But, Sinbad, he goes on this whole thing about he's a mail worker, chat, and so his whole thing is, I'm a mail worker, and we have a high suicide rate, very dark, chat, very dark, but true though. It's a high suicide rate, and he's like, I divorced my wife, and I just want to get my little brat this toy because I was abused as a child. And he's just bringing all this shit. I was like, wow. I mean, a lot of backstory of this character, chat, not even necessary, really. And I want to give him this fucking doll so he can shut up and he can love me more than my terrible whore wife. And Arnold's like, I'm sorry, you have all those issues going on right now. You seemed like a good guy. And he's like, ugh. He goes that Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's like, Jesus, kind of face. But then, chat, the store opens, and the mailman just, get out of my way. He just starts tearing apart people. Chat just pushes Arnold Schwarzenegger to the side, which Arnold would be like, don't you fucking push me during this scene. But they just trample the workers, Chad. Typical Black Friday shit. They trample on top of these people. You know, you see their shoe prints left behind, Chad. It's a nightmare. And eventually they have the directions of Turbo Man dolls, Chad. But oh no, he's like, we have the Turbo Man dolls. Sold out, sold out, sold out. They're all sold out. It's terrible. It's terrible. And Arnold's just like, they must still have some. And Sinbad, he's like, they must, man. They gotta have some of these fucking Turbo Man dolls. And so, like, very Chris Tucker-esque, Chad. I was like, ooh, that was a little Chris Tucker-esque coming through. But he asked one of the workers on the floor, he's like, do you have any Turbo Man dolls in the back? And the guy goes, this guy, come here. He's like, the guy is like, what? He's like, this guy, you see this guy right here? He's asking if we have any more Turbo Man dolls in the back. And they go, that's funny. And Arnold's like, it's not very funny. It's not a funny joke. And he grabs him. He's like, I'm asking you very nicely if you have Turbo Man doll in back of store. Do you have them? They go, we apologize, sir. You know what? They might be in stock in another store. He's like, good, very good. Thank you, Dr. 5 minutes. I wanted to punch that dude, right? Just obnoxious. And that was some of the humor that worked, chat. That was the Arnold Schwarzenegger coming in. He's like, he grabs these two guys by their fucking heads because his hands are so goddamn big. He grabs them just like, you shouldn't say those kind of things to me. I'm a good dad. I'm a good father. And I don't want to have to hurt you. I love it. That's when the humor in the movie really works. And they say, you know what, well, we're going to go ahead and actually, no, they say, actually, you know what, before you came in, we did see a woman. She got the last Turbo Man doll. And they go, what did she look like? Well, she was an older woman. She was wearing a fur coat. And I was like, fur coat? I remember her. I saw her in the front of the store. And he runs. But then fucking Sinbad has his big fucking bag of mail and just hits Arnold right across the face of it, and he hits the side like these toys, chat. Boom! Goes down. I mean, when Arnold Schwarzenegger goes down, he goes down. And Sinbad's like, fuck you, you goddamn Deutsch-stepping, Nazi goose-stepping bastard. And he runs, Chad. He runs trying to get the toy. But Arnold, he just like, give that to me. This little fat kid, Chad, he's just playing with this remote control car. He's like, no, it's mine. And Arnold takes over the car, and he makes the car run into Sinbad, Chad, and fucks up his legs. And he trips over, Chad, and severely concusses himself on the goddamn ground. And he's like, ha! And he runs after Chad. He goes out the store looking for this woman. Then he sees Chad in the back of her vehicle. He spots a woman, Chad, in the back of her vehicle is the Turbo Man doll. And we get one of my favorite scenes in the movie, Chad, where Arnold is running after this car going, wait, I need to talk to you. And the woman's just like, oh, and she just puts pedal to the goddamn metal, Chad. Because I'm sorry, if you saw a 6'4", blue-eyed, blonde-haired Austrian Ubermensch coming at you, chat, that'd be goddamn horrifying. All right, like, I'm with you, girl. You saw it going, it's like, no. Like, if you would grab the car, he would stop it. As soon as he grabs hold of the car, you're fucked. And he would tear you out, and that'd be the end of it. So I'm telling you what, on the woman's side, chat, she got out there and she gave her grandson or granddaughter, whatever, that Turbo Man doll, chat. Horrifying. He's like, damn it. Even traffic stops for Arnold, chat. Like, he stops, like, he's so fucking big in this movie. He stops 2 lanes of traffic, chat. Like, I'm not going to move. I'm very scared of him. He's very upset. And so then he goes to all these other places, chat, just looking for a goddamn Turbo Man doll. Store after store after store after store, chat. Nothing. And he's got to get to the parade later in the day, chat. It's just, he's so stressed out at this point. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. And eventually, he works with, like, all these parents, Shad. Like, him and these parents are just, because this is the 90s, Shad. No one has cell phones. They're constantly going to pay phones, just calling stores, see if they have Turbo Man doll. They all have that fucking derpy Pink Panther that no one wants, or the Mega Brain guy, you know, the Lord Zed with the skin that was grafted back on. But no one gives a shit about them. They all want Turbo Man, Shad. And he's just so exasperated by the situation. He calls another store. He's on a payphone. Eventually, fucking Sinbad, he's still in the movie, sadly. He comes back, and he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry for, like, concussing you with my mailbag earlier and having, you know, I'm sure you feel bad about stealing that fat kid's remote control and having me concuss myself on the floor and shit. Are we good? And it's like, no, but you're still in the movie, so I can't do anything about it. And he's like, it's very true. And they get more of a backstory, chat, more of a rapport and everything. But then one of the parents, chat, they start fucking yelling and saying, it's like, oh, they have fucking Turbo Man dolls at the Galleria Mall. And they're like, what? And they were like, I'm going to get me a fucking Turbo Man doll. And, Sinbad, he gets in this mail truck, Chad. The mail truck is not working. The shit is old and shitty. Fucking, federal government, Chad. Federal vehicles, terrible. They don't keep the maintenance up in them. But Arnold's like, I got this goddamn RV. I can get anywhere I want. He backs up, Chad, right over a policeman's bike, Chad. Fucking motorbike. He's like, damn it! And he gets out there, Chad's like, oh, it's fine. I'll just pick up the bike. And as soon as he picks it up, Chad, the bike just starts falling apart. He's like, oh, I'm fucked. And then who walks out of the coffee shop, Chad? The same police officer that pulled him over the night before. And he goes, oh, you. And then Sinbad fucking drives by and goes, fuck you, motherfucker! And he just takes off. He's like, I hate you, Sinbad. I hate you. And it's not good. He gets a ticket again. He's got a fucking ticket and fees out the goddamn ass. Eventually, though, he does get to the Galleria Mall, chat, and they're all masked outside. And apparently they only have a couple of, or at least maybe, I think, about a dozen Turbo Man dolls in stock. That's what they have. And so they're saying, listen, we're going to each give you it's like a weird fucking lottery system where we have these balls that are marked with a number on them, and it's like bingo. If we call the number out on this ball, you will be able to purchase a doll. Also, we've increased the price. They're now double the original price. They're going, shit. Hey, man, it's supply and demand, baby. Scarcity. That's what happens. And they're so very pissed about it. And so they're giving out all these balls eventually. Everyone's like really mad and shit. But, they're like, God damn, this just sucks. But then one of the fucking parents goes, boom, they just hit one of the buckets full of the balls, chat, and they all start bouncing over the place. And we get another very, very funny scene when Arnold is and all these people, Arnold is bashing these people out of the way, and these people are bashing Arnold, chat, just to grab one of these balls so they can get a Turbo Man doll. It is fucking hilarious shit. Sinbad's going, people are actually on top of Arnold and pulling his hair. Everyone got into it, chat. Looked like a very fun shoot. Thank you, Alexa, for the 5 days. Why couldn't they do a ticket system? I don't know, man, because then we wouldn't have this fun scene now, would we? And Arnold, he gets one of the balls, even though it could be a random ball. You can get, because it looks like there's 100 balls, and if they only have 10 of them, chances are it's probably not gonna be the ball. But whatever. I guess you have a 1 in 100 chance of winning or something like that, 1 in 50 chance, whatever, chat. So he gets the ball. He's like, I got the ball. I did it. But then Sinbad comes up to him, chat, lifts up Arnold's face, and just fucking maces him, going, Arnold's like, And by the way, I know that I've been doing the Arnold noises, chat. Arnold really only does Arnold noises in three particular films, chat. The first one being Total Recall, when he's pulling out that mechanical object from his nose and goes, like that. The second one, chat, is when he's giving birth in Junior. And the third one, chat, is when he's being maced in the face by Sinbad in Jingle All the Way. That's the only time when he makes that sound shit that you hear. But it's become such a part of him and his characters. People just love doing it. I fucking love doing it, chat. It's a great sound to make. And so Sinbad has maced Arnold in the fucking face. And he's like, I got the ball now. But then Arnold's like, I got one for you, Sinbad. He's like, the mailman, he took 2 balls. He took 2 of them. And the parents are like, get the mailman. He's like, no. And they they attack him, chat. And they fucking rip him apart. He's like, fucking choke on it. As they rip him limb from limb. And thankfully, chat, the ball is dropped from Sinbad's severed hand, chat, with all the tendons exposed and the blood vessels, a fucking bloodbath in there. And Arnold's like, I need to get that bouncy ball, chat. He's chasing after it, chat. He's like, it's going down all the stairs and everything, chat. The Galleria. I'm always like, I have to get the ball. Move. And he's like throwing people off the fucking balcony, chat. It's like Commando all over again, chat. It's like, you must move now. Just throwing him from side to side until eventually, chat, the ball, it falls over the balcony, chat, into the lap of this adorable looking little girl. She's like, it's a little ball. And she's like, yay. She's all happy, chat. See, she appreciates a gift, chat, what she's given when she finds something. She has this little cute bouncy ball, and it just captures her imagination. She's just a cute kid. I don't know something about that little girl. It's like, you know what? That little girl, she's nailing her scene right now. She's a better actor than Jake Lloyd. I'll give her that, chat. And it's like, little girl, give me the ball. And the girl's like, hi. And he's like, no high ball. She's like, it's fun. And he's like, And so he has to go down to this giant jungle gym area, chat. You've seen these in the malls or in McDonald's back in the day, chat, or those wooden jungle gyms you used to have in those state parks and stuff, chat. He goes down there. And again, same thing he was doing on those balconies, chat, and on those stairs. Just fucking pushing kids out of the way, chat, trying to get this goddamn ball so he can get a Turbo Man doll. Eventually, He sets his sights on the girl, chat. She goes on the slide. He's like, no, little girl, come back. And he goes down the slide. We get an up-close shot of him going, because apparently he's never been going down a slide before, chat. He's just never happened to him. They didn't have these in Austria. He goes down this slide, and we see the little girl, chat, in the ball pit, which, by the way, if you have kids, do not let them go into a ball pit, chat, because those are ripe with germs, especially in the time of COVID, but they never clean that area. They never clean that area, chat. So don't let your kids or your grandkids or your brothers or sisters just go in there because it's really unhealthy. They're going to get sick. Happened to me when I went to Chuck E. Cheese, chat. I've only been to Chuck E. Cheese once in my life, and the day later, I was incredibly sick. Incredibly sick. I didn't even eat anything that day. I felt horrible. So, sore throat, all that shit, because of Chuck E. Cheese. They do not clean the fucking ball pits, okay? I speak from fucking experience, all right? And so this little girl's just sitting in the ball pit, just enjoying her little ball. And it's like, little girl, I must take the ball. And he's like, could you give it to me? She's like, no, I like this ball. And he's like, yeah, here's a bigger red ball, shiny red ball. Can you give me yours? She's like, and she puts it in her mouth. She's like about to swallow. He goes, no, open your mouth. And he grabs the little, I'm like, don't do this. He grabs the little girl, chat. He's like, open your mouth. And he starts putting his fingers in her mouth. Not appropriate, chat. Do not. It's like fucking Joaquin Phoenix and Joker when he's like, ew. When he puts his fucking fingers in Bruce Wayne's mouth and makes him smile. It's just like, don't do that. Don't do that. Or if it's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Don't touch him. Don't put your fucking fingers in his mouth. And the mom's like, oh, you fucking pervert. And the mom's, chat. I'm not going to call them Karens, okay? Because I'm sorry, we would all lose our goddamn minds if a stranger suddenly is putting their fucking hands, let alone their hands on your kid, but their fucking hands and fingers inside of a child's mouth. They'd be like, fuck that. And they descend on him, chat, like a bunch of Amazonian warriors, chat, wielding their fucking bag, chat, in their goddamn bags, their rolls of Christmas wrapping paper, chat, and they just start beating Arnold Schwarzenegger to death with them, chat. He's like, he can't. Eventually, he's just like, I just wanted the ball. And they're like, get away from her, I'm not the pervert. I'm not the sicko. Oh, thank you, Team, for the 5 days. My mom runs a McDonald's. They found poop in those ball. Of course, there you go. It's all you need to know, chat. It's all you need to know. Moms is something. It's like the moment in Avengers, chat, in Avengers Endgame, except infinitely better. Infinitely better. All these moms are like, and they descend upon him, chat. And eventually they're like, get away from her. And she's a cute little girl. Don't do that, Arnold. Don't do that. He's like, I'm not the pervert. I just wanted the ball inside of her mouth. But eventually, chat, he's walking away. He's trying to catch his breath. Jake trying to catch his breath. But then he realized, like, I'm right next to Santa Claus. They had the mall Santa chair. You sit in his lap. He's like, what the fuck do you want? I want a fucking Dolly. He's like, great. Yeah, Dolly, sure. And, that. And this Santa Claus chat is James Belushi chat. Good old Jimmy Belushi chat. Not John Belushi. All right? It's not John Belushi. Not, from Animal House and, Blues Brothers and many other films chat. SNL. This is his brother, Jim, who is... Not funny. he's occasionally been funny in some stuff, chat, but he's not his brother, is all I'll say. And he plays a Santa Claus, chat, and he's going, psst, psst. And he goes, what? And he's like, looking for a Turbo Man doll, acting like a goddamn drug dealer, chat. It's like, I have the thing you need, baby. And it's like, you have Turbo Man? He's like, I can get you a Turbo Man, but keep it fucking down. Keep it down. Because the mall security's walking by, he goes, ho, ho, ho. And like, hi, Santa. Hello, officer, you fucking asshole pig. Anyway, I got you. I got these dolls. It also has they also have that actor who always plays a dwarf and everything, chat. I forget the actor's name. But he has like a little elf. All the elves are played by dwarves, by the way. And these guys are like, listen, we can get you the Turbo Man doll, all right? And he's like, great, I'll take one. And he's like, not here, man, not here, okay? No, we're going to go with that, but you got to come with us, though. It's like very sketchy, chat, very sketchy. Thank you, Chris, for the 5 minutes. Fun fact, I actually went to the same school as both Belushi, really College of DuPage. Bob Odenkirk went there, too. That's right, that's awesome. Vern Troyer is in the movie, chat, but not as he's one of the people in the movie. One of the Santas, actually. We'll get to that scene in a sec. It's Tony Cox. That's it, Crispy Fish. Welcome to the stream, by the way. It's Tony Cox. And so Arnold's like, okay, at this point, I'm like, I ain't fucking come with either of you. I am not going to go with Jim Belushi in the windowless diddler van, chat. No fucking thank you. Even the goddamn windows are tinted. I'm like, nah, I don't trust this situation at all. I don't like that. But Arnold's like, I need the doll. And so they go with him. And they go out just outside the city, chat, to this abandoned factory. And they walk in here, chat, and it's a whole just illegal fucking operation, chat, of all these Santas and elves who have taken all these toys and been selling them on the black market. It's been going on for like 4 or 5 goddamn years. And I was like, this seems very illegal. This isn't, as Arnold says, doesn't seem very kosher. And Jim Belushi's like, oh, come on, man. You're going to start, complaining right now? We're giving you your doll, ain't we? And he goes, yeah, I guess so. And he's like, oh, by the way, that'll be $300. $300? And they're like, yeah, not 300 fucking chocolates. We got to get the money, baby. You know how hard these things are getting? He's like, fine. They bring out the doll, it's all wrapped up and everything, and they're just like, here you go. And again, he gives them the $300. But Arnold, he starts to open it because he wants to make sure what it is. And Jimmy Lee's like, oh, yeah, don't open it. And he opens it up, chat, and it's all in Spanish. Apparently, it's one of those off-brand Turbo Man dolls, chat. Turbo Man with a little bit of that accent on the O. And he's like, what is this? And he presses the button, chat, and all the dialogue comes out in Spanish. He's like, I don't want a Spanish-speaking Turbo Man. A little racist, but, fair enough. He goes, listen, man, it's a great model. It's still the same thing. And, of course, the fucking thing falls out, chat, just smashes apart. He goes, some building required. And then Arnold's just like, you guys are terrible. You aren't Santa. You don't have the holiday spirit. You're terrible. You're Grinches. And he's like, how dare you call us Grinches? No, we won't settle for that. And apparently y'all decide to just fucking try to murder Arnold Schwarzenegger in chat. It's like, I guess we're just gonna have to kill you. Turbo Hombre, that's what he's called. Yeah, Turbo Hombre, chat. Hilarious. And Arnold's just like, I ain't going down the fucking fight. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he starts beating the shit out of Jim Belushi, chat, everyone that gets in this goddamn way until 2 particular Santas, chat. And one of those Santas is played by The Big Show from the WWE, chat. I was like, is that The Big Show? And it was The Big Show, chat. And this guy fucking comes out. He's like 8 feet fucking tall. And when you get like a guy that's bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, chat, that's a little intimidating. He starts fucking throwing Arnold around. But then, chat, they get another tough Santa. Not one you'd expect, chat, but little Vern Troyer, chat. Famously played Mini-Me in the Austin Powers movies, chat. Was in Bubble Boy. A lot of films. Sadly, he's no longer with us, chat. The late, great Vern Troyer. And he jumps on Arnold Schwarzenegger's head, chat, and just starts scratching his eyeballs out like a cat. Arnold's like, Arnold's like trying to throw him off, chat, but Vern, he's got those nails, he's got those little feet, chat, he's got those little feet, and they've wrapped around Arnold's Austrian oak of a neck, chat, just strangling him, cutting off his windpipe, and Arnold's just trying to throw him off, chat. He's just so fucking stressed out about it. And then Big Show, he tries to punch Arnold, chat, but Big Show just goes, boom, and he just punches Vern Troyer in the fucking face, chat, and he goes, me. He makes the same voice he does in Austin Powers, chat, and he flies across the factory, chat, and just explodes like a hot water balloon on the back wall. It is the fun. It's one. I'm sorry, but it's one of the funniest moments in the movie, chat. It's so goddamn good. Corbin, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing very well. He just pops, and Big Show's like, "Oh, little buddy," and he's so sad. Arnold's like, "Bah!" And Arnold he starts fucking just punching the shit out of Big Show. Also, the elves, they descend upon Arnold, chat, and they have these. This happens. They all have like little tasers and like cattle prods, and they all start electrocuting Arnold's taint over and over and over again, chat. And he's just fucking screaming and just whacking and kicking these guys as fast as he can, chat, so they just stop electrocuting his scrotum. But oh, thank God, chat. Thank God. The goddamn police, the fuzz, the Minneapolis police, chat, they arrive, and it was a sting operation. But Arnold's like, oh, no, I can't go to jail right now. And so he grabs a fake police badge, chat, and he somehow finagles his way out of this, saying, I've been trying to cover this thing for 5 years, and you blew it. You blew it. And they're like, oh, shit, we're so sorry, sir, because when a 6'4" Austrian man is yelling at you, chat, he's instantly the authority figure in the situation. And they're like, what he wants to do? He's like, arrest all these men, take them away. He takes them away, chat, and he gets the fuck out of there. Thank you, actually, for another 5 minutes. Launched his ass out. It really did. It was like, goddamn. He hit the wall so hard, chat, he erupted. It was just, ugh. Couldn't believe what I saw. But Just like Kindergarten Cop. Yeah, exactly. But then Chad, he fucking he's on the goddamn phone. He's calling. Oh, you know what? He actually called earlier in the movie, Chad. We're still looking for the toy, and we cut to a scene, Chad, where Mrs. Schwarzenegger, she's babysitting Phil Hartman's kid, and Anakin. They're playing in the room and everything. But good old Phil Hartman comes on over, Chad, instantly trying to woo her again. He has all this like, here, have some non-alcoholic eggnog, except it's spiked. He's trying to fucking roofie her, chat. It's like, that's dark. He's like, have some non-alcoholic. Like it's like you don't taste the alcohol at all. It's like, fella, that is dark, man. Always trying to get her drunk and shit. And he's like, listen, look at you. You're baking up a storm. How about you go upstairs and take a nice, hot, sensual shower. And I'll go down here and watch the tykes, watch the kids, and I'll finish up all this bacon, okay? Sound good? He's like, here, I'll take that off of you. And he fucking wraps himself around her, chat, and like undoes the apron. He goes, smells her hair. She's like, don't do that. Don't go. I got you. Just smells her. It's like going cross-eyed and shit. She's like, oh, great. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to go take a shower. I feel really gross all of a sudden. He goes, yeah, you do that. And then Arnold, he calls. And, Phil Hartman picks up the phone. He goes, Schwarzenegger residence. And he goes, honey, I say, Phil Hartman. He goes, oh, how you doing, Arnold? No, I'm just here babysitting the kids. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Your wife just made these scrumptious cookies. Oh, every time I just take a bite, I just get this sensation. He's like, so just stop it. Stop eating the cookies. I got to talk to her. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's just taking a shower right now. I can go check on her, though. He's like, no, don't do that. And he's like, well, what do you want me to do? Put the cookie down. Do it now. Put the cookie down. I just love that. Again, instant fucking line chat. And improvised by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Improvised. And I was like, there you go. He's great at the one-liner shit. Like, he's not the best actor in the world, but he has the charisma, and he's got those goddamn zingers shit. And I was just like, well, I'll let her know that you called. And he's like, I hate you. And he's like, I know. He just hangs up, chat, and continues to eat those fucking cookies like he's having a god. We see Phil Hartman's O-face, chat. I need to see that. But eventually, Chad, after the thing with the Santas, it's been a fucking nightmare for him. So he calls home again, just let him know he's going to be late for the parade. He's like, I'm going to get there eventually, okay? And he picks up the phone. Because that's the thing. They hear the phone ring outside. Phil Hartman, he's wooing all the ladies again. And Jake Lloyd, little Anakin's talking with Phil Hartman's kid. And, Anakin's going, man, your dad does all these cool things. He goes, yeah, but my dad didn't always used to do these kind of things. He's like, what do you mean? Well, my dad didn't start, hanging out with all the ladies in the neighborhood until he divorced my mom. And now he does all these cool things for everybody. Maybe your parents should get a divorce. It'd work out for you. And this just upsets Jake Lloyd, Chad. This upsets him like nothing you'd ever seen before. He instantly runs into the house. The wife, Miss Rich, is like, oh, Jake Lloyd, are you okay? And then Chad, he hears the phone ring. He picks it up, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He goes, Dad, how are you? He goes, hello, Anakin, I need to talk to your mother right now. I just need to tell her that something. He's like, well, you're going to be at the parade, right? And he goes, I'm going to be a little late. And he's like, but Dad, you promised. He's like, I know I promised. I know. I know. Something happened is all. And he's like, now, Dad, you know what Turbo Man always says? He says, you always keep your promises if you want to keep your friends. And Arnold just fucking loses. He's like, I don't give a fuck about Turbo Man. Fuck him, and fuck his toy. And I'll put your mother on the phone. I don't know. And the boy goes, he got the Joe McGuire face, yeah, and he hangs up the phone. Mom walks in, he goes, oh no, I fucked up. And then Arnold Chris says the line, yeah. But then Arnold, he's so sad, Chad. He's like, I fucked up. I yelled at my son. And then he gets back in his car and he's like, I got to get home now. Because he's miles from home. He's been over the goddamn city trying to find this fucking toy. But oh no, his car has engine problems. He actually runs out of fucking gas. I was making a better up excuse. He just apparently, Chad, was not paying attention to his, his fucking fuselage chat, see how much fuel he had in the goddamn car, and he realized it was on empty. He's like, no, keep going. No, you gotta put fuel in. He's like, ah! And so at this point, he's just literally pushing the car chat until he stops at the diner and goes, fuck it. I'm gonna get some coffee. I'm miserable. I'm wet. I'm cold. I'm bleeding. My insides feel like shit. I'm gonna go get me some coffee. And he sits down, Chad. He sits down, and he gets a nice little bit of coffee poured from him. Then he hears the voice, hey, man, how you doing? It's fucking Sinbad, Chad, who somehow pieced his severed limbs back together, Chad, and is just sitting there like just an abomination scarecrow and just crawls over to Arnold Schwarzenegger going, hey, man, I'm sorry about that shit that happened in the mall when I maced you in the face with bear mace. You doing okay? Arnold's eyes are just fucking bleeding. He's like, no, I'm not okay. And it's like, let's bygones be bygones. Here, I have alcohol, the man's medicine. And he pours a little alcohol in Arnold's coffee. He's like, thank you, it's very good. He just fucking drinks it, Chad, because, had his limbs ripped off and everything. It's been rough for Sinbad. And then Sinbad talks about his incredibly abusive father, how his father just didn't give a shit. And how Arnold is like, I've been the bad dad too. You have not been a bad dad, Arnold, okay? You have done the best you can, all right? You have all these fucking toys you bought for your kid previously. He talks about how he built Jake Lloyd a clubhouse, Chad. He's like, even though the door wasn't great and the roof was askew, we had so much fun inside the clubhouse. We drew. He loves you. Actually, a really talented artist. We drew all day. We had fun. We had Christmas dinner in the house. It was wonderful. And Sinbad goes, man, you actually are a pretty good dad. And like, oh, this is the lesson here. I think Arnold's learning the lesson. He's like, you know what? I am a pretty goddamn good dad. I provide for my son, for my wife. And it's like, is this toy going to define who I am? Like, this is like a coming to your senses moment. That's what the movie was always going to be about. And when it had him going home and saying like, hey, this is not what Christmas is about. I tried really hard. I'm sorry. I'm going to be here for you guys. Well, that's what the lesson should have been, chat. But no, because then they hear on the fucking radio, this radio announcer says, now, guys, I have a Turbo Man gift certificate, and you can win it right now if you manage to guess all of Santa Claus's reindeer. Call in right now, and you can win it. And Arnold and Sinbad hear that, and they forget everything they were just fucking talking about, and then they just immediately start fighting, chat. They start beating the shit out of each other, because Arnold, he knows the reindeer, and he goes, because again, it's the 90s, goes to a phone booth, chat, which is inside. It's weird. Like, I understand, like, you have a payphone inside your business. There's a literal payphone booth inside this diner, which is weird to me. But they go to the phone booth, chat, and Arnold just fucking breaks Sinbad's arm. Gets going, and Sinbad's like, ah! He screams, chat, because his bone snapped all over again. And he calls in, chat, but then Sinbad, he fucking grabs the telephone wire connection and rips it out of the goddamn booth. And Arnold starts just fucking strangling Sinbad. But then the owner of the business says, fuck, stop destroying my phone. How much that cost? He's like, I have to get Turbo Man. He's like, fuck it, man. The radio station's just 2 blocks away. Arnold goes, really? He goes, yeah. Get your crazy Austrian ass out of here. Arnold, he goes fucking taking off running. He takes off running. And Sinbad, though, he's weighed down by all the mail and the parcels he has on his person, chat. So he's just not as fast as Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he's fucking throwing all these packages at Arnold. Arnold's like, I don't care. It doesn't hurt me. And eventually, Arnold, he gets to the radio station, chat, goes up the elevator, and, he's... The radio station guy is like, he just got off with a caller. He says, is one of the reindeer Julio? He goes, I'm sorry, not even close. And we're going to go to the commercial and see if we can find a caller who knows all of Santa's reindeer. Then Arnold Schwarzenegger, he just fucking bursts in, chat. He kicks in the goddamn, like, doesn't not just like kick the door open, chat. A glass door just crashes through the glass door, chat. Looking like a monster, chat. Just bloodied, broken. His eyes are all bugged out. They're still red from the bear mace, chat. And the radio announcer's like, oh my God! Just terrified. He's like, I know the reindeer. I know you have Blitzen and Comet and Rudolph and all of them. I said all of the names. And the guy goes, fucking don't kill me, please. He's like, give me the Turbo Man. Just shaking this poor man. He's like, listen, I don't have him here. He's like, you said you had him. He's like, that's not what I said. And then fucking Sinbad comes in, and Sinbad, he's lost at this point. He's like, I have a bomb. And they're like, even Arnold's like, what? I have a bomb. You know how all these crazy motherfuckers are sending parcels with bombs in them through the mailing system? It's terrible. Well, I kept one of these motherfuckers, and I'm prepared to use it right now if I don't get my Turbo Man doll. And then the radio announcer's like, for the love of God, I said, I didn't say on the radio that I had a Turbo Man doll. They're like, what? I said, I have a gift certificate for a Turbo Man doll, okay? It's a gift certificate, which you can then redeem for a Turbo Man doll in a store when they become available. And at this point, Arnold, he's just like, I'm sorry for destroying your whole set, because he just fucking knocked everything over. And Sinbad's like, well, I feel goofy now too, threatening you guys with this explosive device. And then they hear the cop sirens outside. Chet, the police sounds like, did you call the police? And the guy goes, fuck yeah, I did. A 6'4" Austrian man burst in, and another guy came in with a fucking bomb. Of course I called the police. And like, no. And they start fucking taking off running, Chet, and they're tripping each other. Like Sinbad fucking just elbows Arnold in the face, Chet, breaks his nose, and he hits all the cassettes, and they all fall down. You know, and then Sinbad, he takes off running shit. But oh no, then they're stopped in the hallway, Chet, because all the fucking cops amassed there. Also, Arnold, he does grab the gift certificate just in case. But all the cops there, and lo and behold, Chet, the cop that Arnold has seen twice in the movie already, the one that pulled him over, and the one who hit that he hit his bike with, used his car to hit his bike, that guy's back there too, leading the fucking charge. And they have all their guns. It's funny, Chet. Every single one of their guns are fucking pointed at Sinbad, with the exception of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, that's a little racist. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But they're pointing their guns. And this is the second racist thing, Chets. When I said it was mostly against Asians, I was wrong. I was wrong. It was sadly, Chad, black people, they don't escape the racist wrath of Jingle All the Way. Every single gun's pointing at him. And the thing is, Shed, he says, I will blow all you motherfuckers up. I have a bomb ready. I have an improvised explosive, okay? Put your fucking guns down or I'll set it off. And they're like, oh shit, man, holy fuck. And they all set their goddamn guns down. And Sinbad looks at the one cop, Chat, the one that's been like always accosting Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, you too, Clint Eastwood. And he goes, all right. And then Sinbad, he's like, I got the goddamn trigger. I got the dead man switch right here. No one come after me. He exits the elevator, Chat. And Arnold, he takes off too. Now, the Clint Eastwood cop chase is like, oh, this is so bullshit. And he picks up the package. And like, sir. He's like, listen, everybody, listen. I served on the bomb squad for 10 years of my service as a policeman here in Minneapolis, okay? I know a bomb when I see one. And he shakes it and they go, there's no gunpowder on here. You guys, you are all bamboozled. And as soon as he tears open the fucking paper, Chat, boom, takes out the whole fucking building. And Arnold's like, oh, all those people just died. It's like, ugh. And even Sinbad's like, oh, shit, that was a real bomb. Well, those motherfuckers are racist anyway, so fuck them. And they take off. But that jet we cut up, and was like, we can't kill them. And we see that it's like, oh, it's like an Acme, it's like a Warner Brothers cartoon. The guys are going like, 10 years in the bomb squad, huh? And the guy's just sitting there, Chat, fucking stumps for hands, Chat, because his hands are gone. He's just like, just screaming in pain. Eventually, Arnold, he's still just so fucking upset over the fact that he just doesn't have this Turbo Man doll, Chat, but maybe he has another chance. Maybe he can at least meet his family at the parade later and explain the situation to him. He's like, at least I have the certificate. And he's like, you're going to get one soon. Just trying to make up for being such a shitty dad, Chat. But we then cut to Phil Hartman and Mr. Schwarzenegger and the boys in the back of the car. And the boys are like, hey, can we go out to the parade while you guys park the car? Because it's really busy, Chat. Traffic's just abysmal in Minneapolis. And they go, sure, kids, we'll catch up to you. Which I'm like, absolutely not. You're going to stick with me. There's a fucking diddler about. You heard about that situation at the mall? Guy putting his fingers on a little girl's mouth? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'd be like, no, but they fucking let him go. And, but Phil Hartman didn't do this just because he wants his son and the friend of his son to have some fun. Now, he wanted to be alone with Mrs. Schwarzenegger. And he's like, here, have some. I just happened to bring my non-alcoholic eggnog, which is spiked, by the way. Kelly, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well. Good to see you. Just in the middle of my review for Jingle All the Way. And he just starts touching her, Chat, rubbing her cheek, rubbing her hair and all this shit. And he's like, listen, let's cut to the goddamn chase, okay? You want me. Like, all these ladies in the neighborhood, yeah, I've been with them. It was okay. But you You're the jewel. You're the one I've always wanted, and you want me too, baby. So let's just get it on. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chad, he's heading to the parade. He fucking sees this shit. He's like, he gets mad, Chad. But then he sees what his wife does, Chad, because the wife goes, ow! And she fucking just hits him in the goddamn face, like an open palm, like scratch. It was like kind of like it hits you in the face, but then like tears down the face like that, like a cat. It's like kind of like, and then he goes, ah! And like his eyeballs all ripped up, Chad. And the egg, she throws the eggnog in his face, Chad, and the egg is all mixed with blood, and the alcohol's in there too, so it burns his face, and also his now bleeding eyes, like, ah! And she gets out of the car, Chad, and like, and he's happy about that. And so Foreman's like, well, this day couldn't get any fucking worse. And eventually, though, Chad, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's still looking for his family and things, but he gets lost in the parade, Chad. And he comes across the Turbo Man section of the parade. Everyone's like waiting for Turbo Man to come out, Chad. But apparently, Turbo Man, he got fucking drunk last night, and he hasn't arrived at the parade. And apparently, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the perfect size of the actor who typically plays Turbo Man. And it's like, hey, what are you doing here? I've been waiting for you all goddamn time. And, they was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're Turbo Man. He's like, I am. He's like, yes, you are. Just fucking weird. And so they're putting him in the goddamn suit, Chat, and then he sees the derpy Pink Panther booster character that's the sidekick to Turbo Man, except he's outside of the costume, Chat, and is a very sweaty, racist Joe Pesci, because he's just like, oh, you're Booster from the cartoon. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking Booster from the cartoon. I've been sweating my ass off in this goddamn thing. I'm sweating more than a dog in a Chinese food restaurant. A little more racism there, Chat. Right there. There's the third one. Now get your ass in gear and let's get out there for the fucking kids and I can earn some money. And so they get up there, Chat. And Arnold, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, I don't understand the choreography. And Bruce is like, dance, you fucking dumb fuck. Dance. He's always like, I'm dancing. He's having a great time. It's wonderful, Chat. And then, Chat, he sees it because he's presented. Because it's a whole big marketing ploy for the Turbo Man movie and the action figure in the show. Because then he is handed a Turbo Man doll. She's like, "This is what I've always wanted. I have it." He's like, just starts like, pumping air like Turbo Man. Turbo Man's like, "Yeah, Turbo Man." Everyone's having a great time. And then, Chad, he sees little Anakin Skywalker in the crowd, and he knows that if he gives him the Turbo Man doll, Chad, he's seen the future. He saw into the future, Chad, using the Force, and he knows that if he gives him this doll, Chat, the deaths of many Jedi Knights and Masters and Younglings will be prevented, and the destruction of Alderaan, the Empire, will not rise if he gives him this doll. And so he starts pointing at his son. He's like, you, but then the fucking Phil Hartman's kid starts arguing. She's pointing at me. He's like, no, he's not. And they're arguing back and forth, and they flip on his, he has like this a speaker system on, and he flips on, he's like, I want you, Anakin. He's like, oh my God, he's talking to me. He's like, come here. And he just goes round to the parade, Chat, jumps on the float, and he's like, I have this for you. I was like, how do you not know that's your dad? First of all, your dad, you've known your dad for the 8 years that you've been alive. He has a very distinct voice and accent. So now you're fucking telling me that it's like, oh yeah, I just don't recognize him. Like, bullshit. Yeah, okay, sure. And he's like, this is for you, Anakin. He's like, whoa, a Turbo Man doll. Wow. And he's all fucking happy, Chad. He's like, yes, Merry Christmas. He's like, Merry Christmas, Turbo Man. He's like, I always keep my promises. He's like, wait a minute. He's like, for a second, he's like, Dad, before he says that, Chat, fucking Sinbad appears, and he somehow, he murdered the original guy who's supposed to be the Lord Zed-esque, villain on the show, Chat, killed him, blew him up probably, and is now wearing the costume, Chat. And so he's like, give me that fucking doll. And he's like, he's pointing at the kid like, I'm going to kill this kid. And I was like, you'll not hurt my son. And little Anakin's just like, wait, what? He's like, run, Anakin, run away. And Anakin, he fucking takes off running. And Sinbad tries to grab the kid. Why is everyone grabbing kids, Chat? And then Arnold and fucking Sinbad, they start brawling on this goddamn float, exchanging blows and shit. But Arnold, he gets knocked back. He gets knocked back because all the fucking little, putties, like it, you took the putty shaft from Power Rangers, but also combined the Power Rangers, made them one thing, and they all grab on him. They all grab him and just tearing him apart, Chat. Well, Sinbad chases after Jake Lloyd, Chat. And Jake Lloyd, he's like, well, I got to get the fuck out of here. Goes into a building, Chat. He goes up to the goddamn fire escape and is on this rooftop right near this giant billboard. But then Sinbad, because he's fucking insane, he gets on this billboard, Chat, and he starts trying to grab and just rip the toy from Jake Lloyd. But then the billboard was apparently not put in place correctly, Chat, and that thing fucking topples over. And so both of them, Chat, are hanging over a precipice. Also, what's funny, when the billboard topples over, you see Sinbad just fucking kick Jake Lloyd, and you have this ADR that comes in and goes, "Hey, that hurt." I was just like, "Oh shit, that looked bad." Obviously, they have like another actor playing the little Jake Lloyd in the situation, chat, but they're like holding over a precipice, like, "Help, Turbo Man, help me!" He's like, they're all scared. It's just, Sinbad's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die over a toy. My life is terrible." And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he sees this, he's like, "Oh my god!" And then everyone says, "Turbo Man, use your jetpack," and he's like, "My jetpack." And apparently, chat, this costume on a children's program has an actual working jetpack. And these little fucking controls pop out of his wrists. And he presses on him, chat. And it blasts his ass up in the sky, chat. At this point, the movie's just like, do whatever the fuck you want. And he's flying around, and he's going, "Oh no!" He's falling and shit. You've seen gifs of this and memes of this online, and he's falling over the goddamn place, chat. But he's literally hitting fucking buildings, shit, like Man of Steel-esque, going through buildings, chat. But because he's the Austrian oak, he survives, of course. But the people inside those buildings, they are fucked, chat. Buildings are toppling over upon people. I wish someone would do this, chat. Just splice together the last act of Jingle All the Way with the last act of Man of Steel, and it would all sync up. It would all sync up, chat. It would be fucking amazing. If someone has to do that. I'm surprised no one has done that, chat. And so he's going through all these fucking buildings, chat, and eventually he gets control of the jetpack, flies up, saves both his son, and hits Sinbad, and Sinbad hits the ground, chat, explodes, dead for all time. No, he saves him too. He saves him too, chat. He lowers them down. Sinbad is promptly arrested because he's a terrorist at this point. He's blown people up. He's threatened to blow people up, chat. He's assaulted a child, almost committed a murder. So it's like, you're going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail. And they're taking him away. But then, little Anakin, he's talking to Turbo Man. He's just like, "Thank you, Turbo Man. You're such a great guy. You're my hero." And the guy, Turbo Man, takes the mask off. He's like, "It's no problem, Anakin. I love you." He's like, "Dad, oh, you're my hero, Dad." He's like, "Oh," because he realized, "Oh, you did this all for me." He comes to the realization, he's like, "Oh my God, you did all this just to get me this thing?" And the kid goes, "I don't need this, Dad. You're the best thing ever. I never needed a doll. I never needed material possessions to love you. I just love you for being you." And he's like, "I love you, Anakin." He's like hugging him. The wife's there, and she's like, "Oh, my son." She's all happy and shit. And eventually, they're taking Sinbad away, chat, as they fucking should, because he's a domestic terrorist at this point. And he says, "Hey," and they turn around, and he goes, "Here you go," and he gives Sinbad the Turbo Man doll. He's like, "Oh, thanks, kid. My son is gonna fucking love this." And it's like, "You're never gonna see your son again, man. You're gonna get 25 years to life in prison. You're never gonna see your son. He's gonna be an adult. He'll resent you forever. So it's never gonna happen." Dogs like the five buddies. That's not what you said at the beginning of this shit. I know. Oh, I know. They're not going to let me keep that doll. Not in any capacity. You're very, very true, Chris Ayers. And then Phil Hartman, he sees all this shit. He sees this shit. And he's just like, and his son's like, "Oh, Dad, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger's Turbo Man." Phil Hartman's like, "Let's just leave. I hate this place." And they go, chat. And then, Arnold and fucking Anakin and his wife, they're all walking back. The everyone's going, "Yay, great." And then it cuts the credits, chat. But it's not over. The movie's not. There is an end credit stinger. Yeah, that's right, "Dad, you smell like barf." That's what the kid says, because of the blood mixed with the alcohol and the eggnog. So that's the smell it creates, chap. That's not the last scene in the movie, chat, because there is an end credit stinger to this movie. And at the very end, chat, it's Christmas Day. It's the end of the day. Everyone's, little Anakin, he's up in bed, he's sleeping and shit. Arnold is dancing with Mrs. Schwarzenegger, and she goes, "You know what? You did all this. The story that you told me is just so crazy. You did all this just for her son to make sure he had a good Christmas." He's like, I love him. I love you." And she goes, "Well, I mean, the lengths at which you went for him, it just makes me think." He goes, "What are you thinking about?" And she goes, "Well, if you did that for him, what did you get me for Christmas?" And he goes, "Oh no, he didn't get her anything for Christmas, chat." And that, chat, that is Jingle All the Way, the 1996 holiday Christmas Arnold Schwarzenegger starring classic. I hope you enjoyed the review. Oh my God. "Dad, you smell like barf." I love that. That's a good line. perfect ending. Sets up the sequel, which we never got. But they could do it, chat. They could still do a sequel. Can you imagine? Yeah, I got to do a rating. So my rating, chat, yes. T-Mac, you nailed it. High rental, chat. It's a high rental. The only reason why it gets a high rental, chat, is because of Arnold Schwarzenegger and because he embraced the material. He's actually funny in the movie. He has a lot of good scenes. There were some laugh-out-loud moments, chat, but it's not a great movie in any capacity. Sinbad is annoying as hell. A lot of the supporting actors are just annoying as well. But thankfully, Arnold, he really does bring it home. And there are a couple of good jokes. It's a perfect high rental, chat. That's what I would give it. Thank you, Dark Slayer, for the 5 biddies. Just go on Adam and Eve, Arnold. That's what you do. Oh, no, you're right. They did do a Jingle All the Way with Larry the Cable Guy. That's right. I forgot. A true sequel, I should say. A true sequel. You got to review the direct-to-DVD sequel starring Larry the Cable. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should put that on a poll, chat. If we get to 2,500 biddies tonight, I will put Jingle All the Way 2 starring Larry the Cable Guy. Oh. Corbin, you can dub clips of the movie if you want. Thank you. Marl's not bad. I got to perfect Marl, but thank you so much. We don't talk about that. We don't mention that. I might review it though. Thank you, T-Mac, for another 5 biddies. A great commentary on the movie. Thank you, Alex Bernal. By the way, a full audio commentary and full video reaction will be uploaded to my Patreon chat of Jingle All the Way tomorrow. Oh, Glee, poll! There you go, chat. 120 biddies. Thank you, Glee, for the 120 biddies. That was very, very kind. Oh, Gino Joe. I could probably do that. That's a good idea. I'm Mr. Snow. I'm Mr. Icicle. I'm Mr. 10 Below. Thank you, Glee, for the 1 biddy. Thank you, Alex Bernal, for the 5. Katie, I just saw you there, Katie. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the 1 biddy. You guys are so sweet to me. Nia Brownie, thank you for the 3 biddies. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Juice again. How you doing? I'm doing great, Nia Brownie. Just finished my review for Jingle All the Way, the 1996 holiday Christmas Arnold Schwarzenegger starring classic. I gave it a high rental. Had some good moments in there. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. Chris, I think for my base. Let's do this. Also, apparently, Joe Pesci was the first. That's true. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, which would have been so much better, by the way, if Joe Pesci was the original choice to play the Sinbad character, chat, would have been amazing. And the only reason why he didn't get the role is because he was too small. They wanted to get someone who was near the same height as Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's why they casted Sinbad. And it was like, god damn it. Would have been so much better if Joe Pesci was in the movie, chat. Thank you, Joy Jenny, for the 5 biddies. Thank you, guys. You guys are so sweet. Bad Shields, welcome to stream.